that women back in my day did not shave their pubes. It was an unusual thing to find any woman who shaved her pubes. Almost no one. And when I told that to these young girls, they were kind of horrified. They were like, "You mean they all had bush?" Bush. See, I'm just saying, and it's the fact that the problem they were kind of horrified. You mean they like when women did that? Everybody was like nasty. They like just let. I'm like, it wasn't nasty. People bathed, kept their genitalia clean. People bathed, they kept their genitalia. These are women like in their 20s. So I'm thinking, your mothers didn't ever talk to you about. Okay, I'm just wondering. So women don't counsel their daughters about grooming their pubic hair. They leave it up to them, and then I guess they discover themselves at a certain age they want to decorate their pubes. I'm just trying to understand as a rite of passage here today, because as a man, I'm not quite sure I understand. I mean, as a young girl growing up, and when I try to ask people, they don't seem to like to embrace the conversation. So I'm not sure what the thing is. Man, I'm not sure what that is all about. I'm just saying, I'm just wondering if women, I'm my age, I'm 65. And if women my age discuss their pubic grooming habits with these young girls, because there were none. We had like natural bush. Even when Penthouse first started showing pubes, when Penthouse was like the first one, started showing pubes. And that's when I found out that white girls had like straight hair down on their vulva. Well, I don't want to get to in their genitalia, they had straight, like blonde, like straight. I was like, dang, that's weird. See, I know, I'm just saying. It was the time, you guys. I had never seen that. I was like, no shit. I'm just saying. I was like, okay, this was a shocker. See, men, ladies, men, we don't know all this. We didn't know all this. And I came from an era when I came up, which is a much more conservative era. If you did all that kind of grooming of your genitalia, people thought you were doing too much, and maybe you were some kind of a hoe or something. For the white people, that means whore, aka loose woman, translation, okay? But for us black folks, it's hoe, H-O-E, not like the thing you use to, well, let me pronounce it, spell it H. How do we spell hoe? Anyway, it was different, not a liberated time. So anyway, I just wanted to raise this point because I think this is an interesting topic. And Audrey Celeste Parrish, my good friend, said, interesting to whom? And I said, see, okay, I think it's interesting. And I want to know, and I want to put you elder ladies on blast for not talking to these young ladies about grooming their genitalia, because there seems to be a sort of a gap. And maybe you ought to discuss vaginal dryness while you're in there on that too. Just talk about all of it. Talk about all of it. Get it all out there. You notice I'm one to share my diagnosis, even though I have no wife and no children, and therefore I tend to act a fool in social media. Just the way it is. Anyway, Mara Hemsley is saying, I wonder, and do you wonder, how are people grooming their pubes? And just where did they cultivate those habits? See you next time.
You ever have those times where you have inspirational moments?
Warning, it's Leo season.
You go talk to the mirror and you say, I can do this.
All liars, cheaters, backstabbers, and fear will be vanquished.
you go and do it.
Banquet.
And then you look back.
A ver, banquet.
Someday, some way.
So this is different. This is different.
Someday, some way. We'll find a middle ground and get along. Someday, some way. We'll leave it all aside and move on.
Ah, yes. Take a moment and just breathe. Ooh, air in, air out, air in, air out. Take a moment, just a little moment, and just breathe. Just breathe. These are the times of being outside. Such a treat. Just breathe. Freedom. Freedom. Just breathe. So much of that freedom is within our minds. Some of us are in a cage. And some of us are so used to that cage that when they open the door, we're afraid to fly. Take a moment. Take a moment and just breathe. Take a moment. Yes. And wonder what life would be like. Feeling love once again. Who I would like to feel love once again. I'm thinking of love. Funny how thinking of love makes one inherently younger. I'm thinking of love. I wish that love for you. And I wish that love for me too. I wish us love. I wish us love. See, I almost want to start singing, but like I said, I don't know how to sing, but I can't. But you know I'll have lyrics, see. Do-de-do-de-do, do-de-do-de-do. Hey, hey. Do-de-do-de-do, do-de-do-do. You can wonder why, long times wonder why, and never know. You can ask again and again, my friend, and always wonder why. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we cry. Oh, and we wonder why. We wonder why. We can wonder why. We can wonder why we cry. Hurt inside. Hurts so much inside. Funny how words can heal the pain. The power of a hug. A kind look even. Reminds me that I'm alive. When strangers smile at me, I feel good inside. I wonder why. I like it when old folks wave at me. I wonder why. It feels so good inside. I love when animals like to smell me. And I wonder why. You can wonder why. And you can ask the question, why? Why me? That's another one, huh?
Hashtag Ride for Justice 846.
We're out in the streets.
Black Lives Matter.
Overnight stays, little drinking, little kissing, playing these games. Boys trying to bag him, then the next day brag him, but you didn't want to kiss him cause he had that dragon. Laughing till you pee, hoping homies don't see. Cut a little grass for some gas money. Chilling at the malls, getting sticky with the paws. You did it for the rush like a rebel with no cause. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were the laws, didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to us, it had no flaws. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were the laws, didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to had no flaws. This is for me. This is for me. At the hoop court 3 straight hours, white mini skirt with the airbrush flowers. We went to the labs and they appreciated that. And you would almost die when he let you wear his cap. You might have told a lie and abbreviated facts if you came home late and were accused of being baked. Me, I didn't smoke, no, mama, I swear. She's only gonna judge me and you know it ain't fair. Trips to the the beauty shop, keeping fresh hair. Blowing $80 at the damn state fair. Beach body surfing with the abs looking perfect. Hitting all the clubs, getting love on the circuit. From ice cream cones to the Starbucks stones, to your new best friend, to your breakup song. They all play out like your favorite days. We love the summertime and it ain't gonna change. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, so you looking for applause. See, we were kids, the laws didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to us, it had no flaws. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, so you looking for applause. See, we were kids, the laws didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to had no flaws.
This is what it feels like to be loved. This is what it feels like to be loved. This is what it feels like to be loved. This is what it feels like to be loved.
Tina wants to be part of the tour.
Kina
How do you
is
think?
a part of the tour.
How do you think so far?
I think it's cool. It seems a little undergroundish. Can I push it up more? No?
Yeah, you can see how it shuts. You want to shut it? Shut it. Wait, come out and pull it down. So you can see how it does. Oh, that's
That'll wake
that
somebody
wasn't
up.
quite the idea, but now open it.
You would have had
Easy, Keita.
it
Easy.
up?
Yes, easy. It's on hydraulics.
Boy, it can hurt your back. You have to be in
It's hydraulics.
decent shape. Don't do that after back surgery.
Well, you're not supposed to be going up and down. It's my secret space to leave. It's like when the zombie apocalypse happens, I'll be prepared. You all my supply.
Water.
Huh? And then you got the tub for two right there. Come on, Sheba. I'm going down.
It's complete now, right?
Yeah, what they're doing is they're adding my handrails and stuff. That's what they were doing. Just the handrails.
How much did this cost now?
They're putting in the handrails. See right here, the handrails?
So all this is custom because that'd be made.
Everything's custom. It's 100% custom.
How much did you spend on this?
What do you mean? How much do I spend?
Back cave.
How come women always want to know what you spend? When they never paying it, but they want to know what you spent. Because they trying to get it. So the reason why they want to know, because they want to figure out what to ask you for. So if they know how much you spend on this, they can say, well, he spent that shit on that. He should at least buy me some of this other shit.
You shut up. I make great money. I'll be making more
I have
than
not
you
seen
make
a
every
check.
year.
No.
Huh.
No. You know what I was making when I went out? I think I make more than you in retirement.
You make more. How much do you make?
I make more than you in retirement right now.
How do you hear?
Anyway, we're not even going there. We're on the air. I'm going to use this video. Take a look. Look at that butt.
Shut up. You made it bigger.
I didn't make it bigger. I just fed you well.
You kept overeating stuff for me and doing Von's delivery.
You see my ex complaining because I fed her well? Keena, do you like it though?
I do. I want to have a turn this into.
See, consider what now that it's done and after all that shit you talked.
Can we turn this into a girl cave? I want to turn it into a girl.
No, because it still got spider webs and stuff. It's not going to be like a place.
Gonna come clean down here?
No, I'm going to have a cleaning done down here like regularly, but it's not a place you want to hang out. I'm going to have storage.
All right, Mario, don't lose your mind. Or all your mind.
Mario Hensley down here underneath. I had Keena down here. She didn't realize I was supposed to keep her down here. Keena, you know I'm supposed to keep you down here. Yeah, feed your kitty litter. Keena,
Yeah, right here.
you're supposed to be getting used to being down
You
here.
want to make out with me down there?
No, I don't want to
I'll
make.
make out with you.
Yeah, okay, I'm putting that shit on. Okay, see, don't be doing shit like that. Okay, I'm just telling you. See, no, it's watch your language. I'm using this shit on social media.
want you to, like-
Stop saying that stuff. Ha ha. Yes. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
You're on patrol, and your partner killed somebody and it wasn't right, it's your job to say something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The movie speaks to the culture, it speaks to the zeitgeist of what's going on right now. We do live in a time where people
Or they would make sure that our movie was like all the way in the back corner. And it was like, yo, unless you specifically go up to the counter and ask for black and blue, you wouldn't even know that the movie is being shown at that theater.
85 setups a day. And the studio was like, what the hell is he? And I'm like, because that's how we shoot. And Frank's mom died while shooting all of the stuff in the power plant. And it was the most emotional time for everybody on set. Everything shut down. I remember the people from Sony called me like, what, we don't know what we're gonna do. We're not gonna be able to come back, Frank. Frank called me this night that it happened at 1 o'clock in the morning and said, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna be back tomorrow. And Frank came on set. This is a crazy story. And every scene you guys seen with him in the power plant, he shot all of that the day after his mother passed away. Incredible, man.
Thank you, brother.
I love you for that, man.
If I could turn the hourglass over, if I could set the clock back, it wouldn't change a thing, I know that.
Good. At the Super Bowl champion, LA Rams. I had to come here to support. I didn't want to get to the street parade because it was just too packed. I'll be out. I forgot my phone. take it on home, okay? All right.
We'll do that in another shot.
Okay.
Let's get the other one out of the way.
Got it. Want to get this one out of the way now? All right, he's rolling already. Ready?
Roll it!
3, 2.
On the next time around.
Okay.
Here we go.
Especially with the rain right around me. He's right here. I'm not going to go far. Not that stupid. How's it going? When it comes down, it comes down. Why do I have a mask? It's not for the Omicron. It's the wind. Ooh. Man, wind chill. All in my face. Well, gotta get it in, you guys. I hope you guys are having a happy holiday season and being safe. You know, something I heard today for you guys who are a Rams fan. I heard something that that almost 60% of the San Francisco 49ers fans have purchased tickets for SoFi today. That can only mean two things. One, Rams fans don't believe they're going to win because they didn't purchase tickets. Or the other one, Rams fans are cheap. But there's a third option. They don't believe. And that's a bad showing if I'm a player on the Rams and I'm going, only 35% of the fans coming to SoFi is cheering for us. This is almost going to be a home game for San Francisco. I'm just saying. Hey, good luck.
Acabo de recibir la vacuna na COVID-19 bien.
Well, VR Reed, you've motivated me.
When you walk in your room and it starts attacking you because you haven't cleaned it in days, and then there is a flying bear.
When you put on clothes that should be professionally cleaned, attacks you. I'm not in a thirsty world. I'm in a motivated world. That's my ethos. It's everything around me, everything about me. Yeah. converted storage room to a kitchen. May not look like it, but it's coming along. Paint. Oh, paint dancing. Oh, yeah. Oh, let me stop. Okay, see you guys. Peace.
next to me. You know there's something I just gotta say. I've been trying to find the right words to say this honestly. So hoping I can find a way, 'cause I've been going crazy just thinking of you. You must be so tired, spending all your time running through my mind. I guess that I'm addicted to all that you do. I could call it love, but don't say enough about me and you. Every minute, every hour, every day, 247 got a hold on me. There's no better way that I could ever see it. 247 got a hold on me. I'm doing time for you good every day. 247 got a hold on me. Lock it up, lock it down, throw the key away. 247 got a hold on me. So baby, won't you take a look at me? Can't you see I'm all tied up? 'Cause I'm begging you for your touch, asking you for your hand. And I know that they're only words to you, and just words are not enough. But if you give me time and son, I know you'll understand. 'Cause I've been going crazy just thinking of you. You must be so tired, spending all your time running through my mind. I guess that I'm addicted to all that you do. I could call it love, but don't say enough about me and you. Every minute, every hour, every day, 247 got a hold on me. There's no better way that I could ever see it. 247 got a hold on me. I'm doing time for you good every day. 247 got a hold on me. Lock it up, lock it down, throw the key away. 247 got a hold on me. better way that I could ever say it. 247 got a hold on me. I'm doing time for you good every day. 247 got a hold on me. Lock it up, lock it down, throw the key away. 247 got a hold on me. Every minute, every hour, every day. 247 got a hold on me. There's no better way that I could ever say it. 247 got a hold on me. I'm doing time for you good every day. 247 got a hold on me. Lock it up, lock it down, throw the key away. 247 got a hold on me.
Someone say it's summer. I gotta get back in the gym.
Well, I gotta do it myself, right? It's gonna be hard to keep up with them on their route, so I'm gonna have to take my side track.
When you're in denial about jeans you can't fit anymore.
Hi. Okay, so I want to tell you guys about a lady who does everything I do. Okay, so she mimics me in every way. All right, I feel like I am totally being stalked right now. Okay, so I met this lady at the beginning of quarantine, right? Had nobody else to talk to, so she was there, and you know, what could I do? She kept me company, I kept her company. You know, we were just like a team. But you know, I noticed everything that I would do, she would do. I couldn't get her to, you know, have her own identity, okay, outside of mine. So, all right, I am so tired of her. All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to let you guys see who this lady is, okay? All right, follow me for a second. All right, every time I look in the mirror, you know, like, she's always there. You know, look at her. You see, look at her. Look, she even points when I point. Look, she's pointing. I can't get away from her. Okay, so I'm gonna stand up and see if I can run away from her. See, when I go this way, she goes that way. When I go to the right, she goes that way. Okay, so no matter what I do, look, she's following me everywhere I go. All right, what is wrong with that lady? Okay, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get rid of her? Somebody, please tell me what to do.
I heard a couple of rumors that women like men on bikes. True, just not the ones you pedal. I gotta start all over again.
Hi. Just wanted to say hi.
Time to get on a real man's bicycle. Let's do this. Whoa. Mom, happy birthday. I just want to have a conversation with you. You are so lucky. So lucky, Mom. Let me remind you of what you're not missing. Extreme racism and hatred. Gun violence. COVID-19. 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 Oh, and the one that you really didn't miss, and you're so lucky. A certain president that was just off the chain. Mom, you know, sometimes people have to go to a different planet.
Planet 13.
I didn't mean that type of planet. There's a lot more I could say to you, but family's doing okay. We're blessed. But it's madness down here in 2021.
Today is a good day so far.
All right, Mom, I'll check in with you later. Love you.
Take a look at this. And my controls right here. Everything. Give me some headphones, stuff. Now this is and you got this thing here, which is back. You got this stuff for your stuff. This is the way it is on this thing. See? Not bad. Everybody's really on the plane. I'm getting chilled.
Welcome aboard American Airlines.
There's something about getting stoned, really stoned, before you get on the plane. Just how high should we be when traveling? I'm headed to Grenada. Would you have just a glass of wine or a beer? Or would you have a rum and coke? Business class all the way. Okay, everybody's smart. I'm here in the Admirals Club of that for, I guess it's American Express, or is it American Airlines? I don't know, but I'm in the Admirals Club. And I got some food. They give you complimentary drinks and stuff, so it's kind of cool. But I'm chilling because I got like an hour before I even board the plane. So, and then there's another 45 minutes after you board the plane before you actually leave. So, anyway, I'm getting ready to head to Grenada. Dyed the hair. What can I say? Everybody just woke up, got off the plane, they woke us up, gave us our orange juice and coffee, and away we go. So now I'm about to change planes, head over to the plane that's going to take me to Grenada. Marl Hemsley, down in Miami. Peace. Good morning, baby. It's the Admirals Club, you guys. Everybody, I'm in Miami. Checked into the Admirals Club. I got like about 45 minutes between these layovers. And not bad, having a little juice. You know, this is what they do. They got all this stuff for you. When you go to the Admirals Club, they got food, they got drinks, they got a bar. You can have all the regular liquor free. So it's cool. You see me doing my thing. Here at the Admirals Club. Peace and blessings.
We sat down together, we worked extremely hard, and together me and you were doing with Isabella and Roxanne, we're doing our whole Oscar campaign. I just want to tell you I love you, brother, and I told you before, there are no mistakes. When John Singleton put his hands on you 20 plus years ago, there was a reason for that, man. And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for coming back to this side of film.
Yes, sir.
What you've done in this movie is absolutely incredible. It is groundbreaking, it is moving, and more importantly, it is for the culture. So I want to tell you thank you, man. I love you, brother. Thank you. I tell people all the time.
Once I did the Moonlight Oscar campaign, I was exhausted. I was like, I'm almost forgetting the reason that I'm actually doing this. So then she quit and literally went to India for like 5 months on a spiritual retreat. Then she got back to London, and then Dion called her, stepped into faith, in this faith, what he do, audacity, and said, I want this to be the reason that you come back out of retirement.
This is the first time you ever see an African-American female lead play a police officer in cinematic history.
Well, you got great to back up.
We'll see. So last night, Thornton, we gotta relax.
I've been relaxed all day.
this earth for a short amount of time, you know, and live every moment like it's your last. It sounds so cliche, but it's so true. For the white people over there, what you mean? She said, no. Oh boy, what I mean is, so silly ass. Different countries went to my college, international university. When I would see people like, you know, like him, be like, what's up, brother? They'd be like, bonjour. I was like, oh, where? Like Texas?
My great grandson of enslaved people, and yet I'm here. I told everybody I started my education in a color school, and yet I'm here.
No, I'm like, let's keep talking about it then, because you mustn't understand, and let's figure it out together. What I came to was that no one can do everything, but everyone can do something. So the question that I was forced to ask and answer for myself is, what is your something?
That was placed on me, the responsibility that I ran towards.
Yeah, the whole thing was the Ukraine and the meeting of two worlds here, hoping for those, and then at the same time watching the same thing happen with wars, sectioning out people of a different persuasion. Seems like it never changed, man.
You know, and it's a bad thing to actually have to sit here and experience this tragedy that goes on in Ukraine and then have to reflect on it from the perspective of race. I mean, that,
Man,
see...
it never ends, does it? It never ends.
It's like it never ends, and this is where the black man, the black woman, this is where we just hang our head, you know.
Right.
I don't even know what to say. It's so disheartening to me. Here you have an issue where you're concerned and caught up with man's inhumanity to man.
Right.
And then we have to experience this.
Right.
All over again. It's like, you know, mustering your little bits to help someone and then getting there and find out that they don't want your help.
Gives you a kind of a, and I'm not trying to say things are not improving. Things are improving. They're just very slow. How long did it take our own country to detoxify, which is still in the process of what has happened ever since the Civil War? It's going to take a while. This thing that's happening, I don't know. Let me just say this. What's the most progressive country on the planet, if you in your opinion?
Wow.
Gotcha. See?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Does anyone know that answer to that question or have an opinion? What is the most progressive country in the world as it relates to race?
Yes. I'm not going to even guess. I'm going to go look, but I want to see if people have an obvious answer, man.
I don't know.
And it used to be, you used to think it would come out of your mouth, maybe say 10, 15 years ago. Wasn't there a quick snap that you would go, we are? Didn't you used to think that? Now that can be from lack of aging, because here's the thing, I have to admit this, guys. So I'm just so understand. One thing happens when you start getting older. They say you either get more relaxed or you internalize more. You become that couch that you used to walk by when you were 17 or 20 years old. You walk by it, didn't want to sit in it. But when you get over 40, 50, you start looking at that couch, it becomes your friend. You start sitting in it longer. And when you sit in it longer, you pick up this. The remote. And what do? Dial in. What are you dialing in? You're not going, I'm not looking for the clubs. I'm not looking to go out, do this. I'm not trying to have fun. Let me find out what's going on. You see this bullshit? You see what this person is talking about? That's what happens. Okay? That's what happens. Put down the damn remote. You guys don't be afraid of the phone. Okay? The phone is your friend. Take it from me. That phone is your friend. It's one of the best things that's ever been put in an individual's hands, even with those who are shock and awe. Shock and awe, bro. That's my ethos.
Well, let's take a quick flash look at today's news as presented to us through Yahoo and Google. So much celebrity news. Pete Davidson, who's now linked openly to Kim Kardashian, he finally responds to Kanye West.
Oh boy. Okay.
You know, it's just
why.
You know
why.
And I'd say why, too, because, listen, I remind everybody that Kanye is a person with a medical disability for which he should be on medication. And what he's doing right now is acting out because he's not on that medication. And so he's just doing stuff, and it's actually makes him look so bad. You know, Davidson has been taking the high road, but, you know, I guess we all get to weigh in on this one. How about this one? Jussie Smollett sentenced to 150 days in jail and then, 300 days of probation or something?
Yeah, something like
for
that.
lying about a hate crime that he supposedly perpetrated upon himself. The response has been a meager Because no one is really wants to come in to his defense. Everybody's, for the most part, embarrassed by him. And even Don Lemon, who had publicly supported him before, had to come out and say.
Yeah.
They had to come out and say. So,
did you hear anything from Robin Roberts? Did she ever do a follow-up? Because, I mean, I don't follow the show.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't. Because, again, a lot of people did embarrassing kind of things with him
and don't want to
supportive and don't want, who wants to be dealing with that right now?
Now, this is a part where I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Okay. All those wonderful shows, and I understand people taking the position of doing these hot interviews. When you scramble to go get it to be first, what is it that the main corporations want to do? We were first. Now, if your ass is last and don't say anything, I think you're culpable to the corporations going like, let's not say anything to protect our credibility. At that point, you lose me as a show and a representative. I'm not blaming Robin if it hasn't been done. This is just my overall.
Well, the producers are deciding that,
that's
I'm sure.
Right, they are. And that's the part where I go, oh, so now you guys are going to be slow and rolling. Why can't you just get on the thing and say, look, we got bamboozled too.
Jussie Smollett.
Hey, that's it.
All right, how about this one? Pittsburgh Steelers signed Mitchell Trubisky to be Ben Roethlisberger's replacement.
I'd rather talk about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. How about this one? The fully vaccinated will need a fourth dose later this year for a new variant named Deltacron. The bad news, from what I was gathering, and I've been looking on an ongoing basis because the information in these areas does change. It changes regularly, so you have to kind of look and see. The latest information was showing that the vaccinations were starting to wane sometime after 4 months, believe it or not.
Right.
You weren't getting even a full year of protection.
Right.
And so it looks like, along with the virus becoming what we call endemic instead of pandemic, the vaccines are not working as you might expect. On the other hand, they do prevent serious illness. Okay.
Oh, you know what, Mar, you got a good point.
And everybody who gets it seems to have mild illness.
Yeah. You know, Mar, you've had headaches before, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I dated a headache before. I've had headaches. She was sweet. She was sweet.
Okay.
Fertile.
Okay. All right. And you've taken the pill. Not the blue pill, not the red pill, but you've taken the pill, right?
It cost $10. That's correct.
The headache did go away and subside.
Oh,
right?
that one. Oh, yeah. I took a Tylenol.
But the headache came back sometime down the road, didn't it?
We back to the date again?
I'm just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the headache did come back.
The headache came back. You took the pill again, right?
Yes, I did.
How's this any different? We just got to take the pill again, right?
No, I don't know.
I'm just saying. You take cold medicine. Get a cold.
So in other words, here's what Vic is saying. Vic is saying,
yes,
just get used to getting a vaccine every 4 months.
That's right. Or the pill.
The pill won't be enough. It'll have to be a vaccine.
It's going to have to be
every 4 months.
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
Right. Look, right now, none of you guys are complaining about the cold. It keeps coming back. The flu keeps coming back.
Well,
pneumonia keeps coming back.
While Victor tells you that, let me tell you this. So in China, they just shut down 51 million people.
Wow.
Put them on lockdown for COVID. Wow. 51 million.
Wow. Another
full shutdown.
Another spike, right?
Because of 2 cases. Now you have to understand, when they find 2 cases, they know that really means it's
way more.
Because you have to, when you find 2 in this little group, you say, oh, shit.
And they got close proximity, too.
So, so China's shut down over 50. Let me see what city, if I can tell you what city it was. 51 million in China.
Right.
because of the lockdown. It's the worst COVID crisis. I don't know which variant. Yeah, it's in the northeastern province of Jilin, where 24 million people live, in the southern cities of Shenzhen and Dongguan. They shut them all down.
So obvious.
Oh, Vic.
Yeah.
Supposedly across those cities, remember when I said they found 2? Now they've got 1,400.
I see it.
1,400 cases. Take a look.
Right.
Take a look at this setup.
That's okay. Let me give you. Is that a nice setup compared to our setups? Wait a minute. What do you think?
I mean, it's a reasonable setup.
It is a reasonable setup. It's big, man.
Yeah, I mean, because the whole thing is to try to have some degree of isolation of patients.
Right.
As you get overwhelmed with patients, it becomes virtually impossible to do that.
Right.
But so China's going through a big old
okay
shutdown. And just see, I was just bringing this point out to think about people concerned about the way the U.S. has dealt with it in comparison. Over there, they just jump on it, which is so different in us. Just like in Saudi Arabia, where they just had a mass execution of 81 people. A mass execution.
Okay.
Now, in Saudi Arabia, the most common method of execution is beheading. It's beheading. These are our collaborators, whatever. These are our allies. But so these are different people. They are a group that can comprise 73 Saudis, 7 Yemenis, 1 Syrian, for a variety of crimes, but 81 beheadings. Now, who carries that out? I guess the beheader person. I don't know how you get that job.
I really don't, man.
But can you imagine that?
I think, listen.
Wow.
It's really the crime fit the punishment. And I don't even want to get into what it is, because sometimes you get shocked about what they will say. This is an end of life event that you perpetrated. And sometimes you're shocked. It may not be as bad, and sometimes it's just unbelievable. They should have been punished severely. So, interesting. 81.
Who do I love more than Lady Gaga?
Her mama?
I do love me some Lady Gaga because of her politics, because of her stands. I'm forever seems to be impressed with her. Take a look at this latest outfit that she wore at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Do you follow? Let me ask you something.
Yes, I do.
Do you follow the critics?
No, I don't follow them, but I have stalked one or two.
So it wouldn't matter what the title of the award is.
No, it doesn't, because I don't know. It's just a chance to see her breasts.
I'm not commenting.
Lady Gaga, Critics' Choice Award. She knows she's wonderful, and we get to see her in high fashion. One of the I was trying to find a picture. So one of the things, alluding to a previous story, Kanye's new date.
Oh, yeah.
And whether she looks like Kanye, what's her her name?
Yeah.
Janie Jones?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Used to date one of them kind of shaded.
Let's see what you're doing. What you're doing is saying this. He's trying to get somebody closely associated with the looks of Kim. Right?
Well, let's just, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that?
I'm leaving the commentary to you. Okay. So the message is that Kim has sprinkled the Kim flavor on Kanye, and he has to go find anyone. Is that the message? That looks like him. Is that the reason why you put that up?
I just wanted to show you what his women look like.
Okay, but there's a story. You know the story.
I wasn't sure I had a point. I was just trying to show you.
Well, I've seen the story, and that was the lead-in going, wow, the similarities are uncanny. What does that say about Kanye, man?
Sounds like a bunch of us. Like I always said, you can tell the ones that Vic wants, because when you walk in the room, whatever women's head above everybody else's head, like you walk in the club, whoever's head you see, that's the one Vic's going to talk to. The tall stallion, statuesque.
See, that's wrong.
Statuesque women.
That's wrong. I have to pull out pictures so I can show him. But, now it makes it worse if I do that. So if I'm going to do that, you have to do it too, man. Okay? I'm done.
Everybody, Victor Allen. And the ethos.
And should Tom Brady take his mid-40 age body and stay home?
Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. Actually had a great year. So, who am I? Who am I to say where one should retire? I'm thinking of myself and my dating days, and perhaps I should retire from the world of activity. Perhaps you too, Vic, should take that soldier and put him out to pasture. Retire him from operation, Vic. Maybe it's that time for us to consider taking that lone cowboy off the range, Vic. And
mine is on the bike.
Maybe.
It's on the bike, bro. Just going wherever I go.
Who's the lone cowboy?
All right.
And we want to thank you all for tuning in for Morning Coffee with Mario. The show right now, you guys, just so you know, evolving things here in the studio, a bunch of stuff evolving here at Pack Stereo. We're making sure the system is up, getting ready for some expansion, a bunch of new things coming. And we're getting ready and making sure everything is working around here just so we can bring that to you.
A lot of work, man.
A lot of work.
It is a hell of a lot of work. It is. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know for people who've already followed this show, they go, well, you guys are just doing it once a week. But the stuff that we're attempting to transition to, it's a lot of work. So hopefully we'll be able to accomplish it. But it's going to be a challenge.
I want to thank our friends for tuning in. Omari, brother from another mother, and PMC, Catherine Dorsey Spragley. Thank you so much, Beth Nasca, all the people who've been part of it. Thank you for being part of our show. See you next week. Bravo.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Let's get down on the good news train. Have your morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Get the 311 before the morning's done. Laugh until you cry. You can always rely on morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Morning coffee with Mario. Kiss, 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 kiss. Kiss, 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 kiss.
Hidden high up in a tower, from the world concealed. Midnight, the breaking hour, when the truth will be revealed. The shadows of a stronger, to a naked king we kneel. Yeah, your nose is growing longer, when will you become real? You become real. You become real. You become real. You become real. Tell me why can't you wake up? Tell me why can't you wake up? Tell me why you relinquish trapped in your What are you waiting for? Lying dormant in a bottle, all your secrets keep. When she fooled you with an apple, now the spell is long and deep. Bleeding finger on the spindle, 100 years until we meet. From the path you fell, find a wolf just like a sheep. Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why you languish trapped in your abyss. Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why are you just waiting for his kiss, 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 kiss. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Poppy fields, velvet curtain, no place quite like home. So you sold your voice for certain risk to gain a human soul. Through a hole here in her garden, queen takes you as a pawn. You were never ugly, darling. All this time you've been a swan. A swan, a swan, a swan, a swan, a swan, a swan. What are you waiting for? Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why you languish trapped in your abyss. Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why are you just waiting for his kiss? His kiss, 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 kiss. His kiss, 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 kiss.
Yeah, I got it. Decided to go in and continue doing my exercise as we are living under this coronavirus pandemic. This is the week where they said, hey, everybody in LA, even for essential shopping, should stay at home. This is supposed to be Hell Week. Maybe Starbucks is open. Try to get some exercise in before the rain comes. You gotta come down the hill, you gotta go back up.
Good morning!
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Let's get down on the good news train. Have your morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Get the 311 before the morning's done. Laugh until you cry. You can always rely on morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Morning coffee with Mario.
What's happening? Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Coffee, the AM reality talk series where we talk about the things that are most interesting to you and I can say, what's up? It's wonderful to be here. Good morning. Never here alone. My partner in crime, the very gifted Victor Allen. Everybody give it up for Victor.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My Monday is dragging, and I'm not talking about breath, but I'm dragging breath. You all right, man?
You know, the seasons are changing. I don't know if you guys have... First of all, we're now well into 2022. Everybody's expectations are changing, are definitely changing as it relates to this year. We're starting to think about getting back to the norm. Everybody is. And so that's causing us to have some adjustment reactions, right? I don't know about you, Vic. Are you having some I'm still carrying my mask around. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still carrying my mask around.
I have something to admit. I am actually forgetting my mask more often. So I think I'm in transition adjustment, man.
You know, and it's a bunch of mixed messages, you know, and that's what. So here we are, Monday morning, attempting to deal with a bunch of things. The new normal, which is mask or not mask, get out or not get out, travel or not travel, and of course, this constant now daily offering on the war in Ukraine. So now this is part of our daily stuff. I got to give it up. I give it up for you all. I think that these are difficult times and people are handling it, you know, pretty well.
When you say pretty well, which people are you talking
Well, when I say pretty well, you have to understand I actually expect full-on disintegration,
Okay.
falling apart.
Okay.
So when they don't do that, I guess I'm happy.
Right.
I'm happy. But no. It's interesting. Americans are stepping up toward helping the folks in Ukraine. And so it's become a cause celebre, you know, across this country and indeed throughout the world.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I guess people are stepping up, even though we know that we want to make sure that for the future that we build upon this. So many refugees in the world, you guys, so many refugees in the world today. And at least I'm hoping that this current crisis increases our sensitivity to refugees, because you have refugees from Syria, you got refugees from all around,
right?
And hopefully we can do something to help all of those refugees too.
You know what? I have some words probably later in my ethos segment as it relates to Ukraine, but you know what I wanted to do is make sure that this Monday starts off with a positive message, and so I made sure that I waited for you to come out swinging, and you did exactly what I expected. You reminded people of what the world is really like for many people who are just not as fortunate to be in the position that we're in. So I have to say you are right on point this morning, and I am not being sarcastic. I'm being real about it, man.
Hey, we're having our coffee, but we're talking about the things, you know, that are affecting us. I got up this morning with the idea of coming to you all, and as always, I look to see what is happening. And let's face it, there's a bunch happening, and it's calling us to arms. It's interesting. For the President Joe Biden, the Russia thing takes on a bigger, much bigger picture. In a way, in a sense, providing a certain degree of distraction, it seems. You know, we're watching what goes on in Russia, and that allows us to not think about what's going on with Trump, the Department of Justice, Merrick Garland, and all those things. So it sort of adds to a distraction. You know, even though I must admit, in some ways, I'm kind of glad to be be distracted. I don't know.
You wait a minute. Distracted with what though? What is the main distraction from the distraction?
Shows you how sad it is. It actually feels better to worry about Ukraine than to worry about Trump.
There you go.
And I guess that's sad.
Yeah.
I guess that's sad. I wonder how many of you are feeling that way too. We are distracted by Ukraine, and in some ways that gets us away from thinking about our own domestic issues. And for some reason, we feel better.
Absolutely.
Well, anyway, a lot of stuff is happening. Everybody's pulling out of Russia. It's kind of interesting. I've been paying attention to who's been doing it. McDonald's said they are shutting down in Russia, and as it seems, a bunch of the Russians are in line to get a fast food fix from McDonald's, which is amazing.
Right.
Which is amazing. All around in Florida, check this out, Vic. In Florida, the state has now initiated a new directive that really goes after folks who have transgender children, making them criminals if they support that transgender. That's right. Now, if you're a parent who has a transgender child in Texas, if you support them on that allegation that they are gender, if they do things that are considered gender affirming, you could be reported for child abuse.
Okay. Is this a new law?
This is a directive that came out in the state of Texas that directed caseworkers to now initiate investigations and allegations against parents who were doing gender affirming treatments of their children.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I'm speechless on that one, bro.
You know, just terrible stuff. Again, in the Ukraine, they've been told to destroy the pathogens that they have in their labs. In other words, as you've heard, the Russians have taken over the nuclear facilities. Well, it turns out they've also taken over a bunch of the laboratory facilities. And that involves things that could be, well, they're pathogens that are potentially used for whatever purposes. But they've been told to destroy them.
Wow. Okay.
So, again, news today. Have your coffee.
Yeah, you letting people have it on this Monday.
It's a Monday. It's going to go quick.
Yeah, you're slapping people with, hey, this is good day, L.A., right?
I don't know if we're going to have any good day.
All right. So,
L.A.
Yeah, okay.
One of the things that's going around, too, is Big Pharma, the drug companies.
Well, okay, we know, right?
They're one of the few people that are still doing full business in Russia, the drug companies, saying that they are responding to medical needs. So that because they are responding to medical needs, that they are now doing, these are humanitarian reasons.
Right.
While they are concluded, while they haven't stopped dealing with Russia.
Do you believe that a lot of the bigger corporations are at a fine line? For example, if you know, they talk about the technical companies and that they're taking advantage of putting in fake information, but that's supported by the platforms such as, say, Google or others, that say, hey, look, they're using our platform. Do corporations need to take a stand and say, let's shut that down, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, but then do they leave the people voiceless to share what may actually be happening? It's a double-edged sword. You take away the platform so that the politicians don't abuse it, but then at the same time, the people who would need it to sit back and say, this is what's happening, they're not able to, and they go to alternative apps. What do you think about that?
I think it shows, again, the ever-increasing power of social media, that people out there and in the Ukraine are using alternative forms of media. You know, the Russians have really tried to stop the internet. And one of the things Elon Musk has said is that he would provide internet service. I haven't heard anything more about that. But exactly, people are sharing through social media what is happening in Ukraine, and indeed that has become once again one of the main ways. The one you were talking about is the families, right, Vic?
Yeah.
The one where the father and the son were conversing. Tell them about that one.
Well, yeah, this one is, you know, it's been about a week or so ago, and there are many stories now, so it's a whole bunch of them now, because throughout the week, where the families, you know, they have families in Ukraine and Russia, and while they're talking, this was talking to a son was saying, father got on the phone and just simply said, son, how are you doing? Just like a everyday, regular conversation. And the son said, we're getting bombed, Pops. We're getting bombed. They're dropping bombs. The Russian military, and the father says, no, that's fake news. That's not happening. whatever you're saying there, that's not the Russians doing that. And he would not believe him. He kept trying to push through it. Didn't work. And so there's several stories like this catapulted, but beyond that one, the defiance because of how good they took the last few decades and just kind of entrenched this this ideology that Ukraine is neo-Nazis. But you're going to get a story also in my ethos where we'll follow up on that as well. And this is kind of permeated through Russia for the most part. And they just crack down on anyone who has a voice against. And that's also including the journalism and broadcasters. So there's many others. There's the Google story. I won't even get into that one. This is a story that was published back in September last year, where they said, hey, Google, stop. Walked into the executive's office, stop what you're doing. And they came in armed. Armed. That's how they are. They were going, you need to stop. Take down the platform. Warn the person. Came back when they didn't do it. It says, the clock is ticking. That's how they were talking. So I'm just giving you an idea that this is what's happening, man. It's terrible, man.
Just that type of world. Ongoing with Trump, the investigations continue. We're going to be getting supposedly a bunch of news in the next couple of months. It's interesting that Trump is still aligning himself for a run at the next presidential election. I don't know how people, which to me is amazing, and part of my frustration with the current Department of Justice. As you know, you've been hearing reports about people who are being charged for the insurgency. But it looks to be, I don't know about you, but it looks to be small numbers. I expected to see 3,000 people indicted. Okay? But but there's no heart to deal with that. There's no heart to deal with it. There is some agreement on attacking the leadership. You know, the head of the Proud Boys was arrested. Other people were arrested. But there seems to be, once again, this whole, in general, unwillingness for America to deal with the truth. They don't want to deal with the insurrection. People really want to brush it underneath the kind of the table and let it go. There is no heart for dealing with it. And that's amazing, because when they do that, they leave it open for it to occur again. We know that the same people that did that insurrection, they're sitting at home planning the next thing. Okay, they're planning the next thing. This is the way our world has become. The president still, and again, I reminded people, my issue with Biden always has been is that he's kind of been a cream puff. You know, he's always been, well, let's put it like this. In his efforts to be non-confrontational, he never pushed anything. My criticism of him was always he was the one who sat down and had dinner with all the segregationists and told them, well, would you please be nicer to the Negroes? And in that day and time, that was progressive, because like I remind people, when I was 13, the whole United States was Trump. So when Biden was nice to us, at least spoke kindly to black people, we appreciated that. But there were no stands taken. And here we go again. Here we go again. Now, so the latest Supreme Court nominee, I don't know what people think about her. I'm starting to gather some information. I don't have an opinion. Biden pledged to nominate a black female, you know, and even as a black man, it just sounds so patronizing in some ways. But on the other hand, they do that for abortion. They pledge to find a Supreme Court member that's anti-abortion. Why so putting political agendas into selection of a Supreme Court candidate is not new. They act like this is new now because he said a black woman. Before, they didn't have to say it. They knew it was going to be a white man. When it was a white woman, they talked about it. So everybody knows. That's what everybody says. It's the norm. It was the norm. And now we may have a different norm. But again, I don't know about this latest Supreme Court candidate. There's things to be learned. There are things that you learn. You learn things like Thurgood Marshall was a friend of J. Edgar Hoover. Okay? And then there's a lot of reports about Thurgood Marshall and how he felt about King. These are things that are out there for you to know so you can understand the background that goes into these things as we move supposedly forward. But waiting to see. You know, Kamala Harris is there trying to stay out of the public eye because all she has to do is be quiet and wait, and she'll be the next Democratic candidate for president and potentially the first black woman president of the United States. And then,
in less than 10 seconds. Less. What's your opinion of Clarence Thomas?
He sucks.
That took about 2 seconds. Very good.
He sucks.
Very good.
Example of black privilege that forgets where it's from. And it's so, and everything about him shows that.
Oh man.
Everything about that. That's Clarence Thomas. What these latest things have proven is that you could have people of color in positions of power and still have essentially no change. I don't want to get into a debate about Obama right now, okay, but I can tell you what it's showing us, all of these things, is that you could have people of color